Let me ask you something. Why do Christian apologists, people like Sean McDowell and Gary Habermas, trust ancient testimony but dismiss modern testimony? In a recent discussion between Christian apologist Sean McDowell and philosopher Gary Habermas, the question of evidence for the afterlife was raised. Habermas, who has researched near-death experiences, NDEs, for over 50 years, drew a sharp distinction. Veridical reports that can be independently confirmed, such as a blind person accurately describing visual events, count as data, while descriptions of meeting Jesus, encountering heaven, or experiencing a life review are merely interesting. In his words, they do not rise to the level of evidence. They hail his research as proof of the afterlife, but they ignore what happens in the afterlife. This distinction invites a serious question. What counts as evidence? Think about it. The Bible is nothing but testimony. Stories written down by people who said they saw, heard, or experienced something divine. That's it. No video footage, no independent verification, just testimony. And yet, for 2,000 years, that testimony has been called evidence of faith. But when thousands of people today describe near-death experiences, seeing the same features again and again, like the life review, the overwhelming love, encounters with beings of light, suddenly we're told, well, that's interesting, but it's not evidence. Really, in a courtroom, eyewitness testimony is evidence. Cases have been won, and people have been sentenced on nothing but testimony. So why isn't the testimony of thousands of NDEs given the same respect? Here's the uncomfortable truth, because it doesn't always line up with church dogma. People see Jesus. People discover unconditional love and no judgment. That challenges doctrines of hell, punishment, and exclusivity. So the strategy is simple. Call it interesting, but not data. But let's be honest. If you're willing to build an entire religion on the testimony of a handful of people 2,000 years ago, why dismiss the testimony of thousands today? If ancient testimony counts, modern testimony should count too. For me, the real evidence of life beyond death comes from thousands of authentic near-death experience reports. From people of every background, across cultures, who describe consistent, transformative encounters with the divine. That's where the truth shines through. And what the reports tell about what happens in the spiritual realm has to be taken as valid and analyzed. I've spent years studying these reports, and I've written 2 books on NDEs, with a 3rd coming soon on the dying process itself. What I've learned points toward a reality that has to be accepted as solid. We are immortal beings. We are spiritual beings, sent to earth to have a human experience, not humans having a spiritual experience. Look for Unveiling the Afterlife, which lists the research about NDEs, and look for Unveiled, the Greatest Discovery in Human History, Proof that We Are Immortal, on Amazon. If you're interested in exploring the truth of the afterlife, I invite you to check them out. And let me know in the comments, what do you think about how religion tries to ignore the lessons near-death experiences are revealing? Subscribe, give this video a like, and tell a friend.